Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this session, we're going to have a discussion about prompts in ChatGPT. So in the context of ChatGPT, a prompt is a piece of text that the user inputs to generate a response from the AI model. The prompt is basically the starting point for the conversation, and the quality and specificity of the prompt can have a significant impact on the quality of the AI generated response. As a language model, ChatGPT is designed to respond to various types of prompts, such as questions, statements, commands, and many more. To generate an appropriate response, ChatGPT needs to understand the meaning and context of the prompt. So, what happens to a prompt when you actually enter it in ChatGPT? When a user inputs a particular prompt, ChatGPT uses its vast database of language patterns and machine learning algorithms to generate a response for you. It analyzes your words, grammar, and the structure of the prompt to identify its intent and the context. ChatGPT can also leverage its knowledge of different domains and topics to generate more accurate and relevant responses. For example, if a prompt related to a specific field like medicine is used, then ChatGPT will use its knowledge of medical terminologies and concepts to provide a more informed answer. However, the quality of the responses depend on several different factors, such as the complexity of the prompt. How technical have you kept it, or how simple have you kept the prompt? Are you using jargons? Are you using technical language? What kind of complexity have you used in the prompt? The relevance of the prompt to the desired output. Depending on what question you give, is the output going to be valid or not? This completely depends on the kind of prompts you are sending to ChatGPT. And lastly, the specificity of the prompt. Overall, ChatGPT's ability to understand prompts is a crucial component of its functionality as a conversational agent, and it relies on a combination of advanced NLP and machine learning techniques to achieve this. So, in order for us to get the best results from ChatGPT, it's necessary for us to understand what really are the best practices of creating prompts in ChatGPT. To create an effective prompt in ChatGPT, there are several best practices that you need to keep in mind. The first one being be specific. The more specific your prompt is, the more likely you are to receive a relevant and a useful response. This could include relevant background information or even details about the topic that you're about to discuss, which basically leads to you getting more relevant answers. You need to avoid using vague or general prompts that lead to an ambiguous response. At the same time, you also need to provide enough context for ChatGPT to understand the intent behind your prompt. This could include relevant background information or details about the topic that you're discussing. It's also important that when you use a prompt, you make use of natural language. Think of writing a prompt the same way you would communicate with somebody else. Writing a prompt has to occur in natural language that is easy for ChatGPT to understand. You need to avoid using overly technical or formal language because that may just end up confusing the model. And at the same time, when you do write these prompts in natural language, you make sure that you write them as a complete sentence. Do not use fragments or incomplete thoughts the same way you would Google search an answer or any kind of topic. Using complete sentences will help ChatGPT better understand the meaning behind your prompt. And lastly, the most important part of all is that when you are using or requesting any prompts in ChatGPT, you make sure that you avoid any kind of bias. You need to be aware of any potential biases in your prompt because that could lead to biased or inaccurate responses. It's necessary to make sure that you use inclusive language and avoid using language that could be offensive or even discriminatory. All right. So, with that, we also need to understand what are the different kinds of prompts. There are several types of prompts that you can use in ChatGPT, and some of them are the following: open ended prompts. These are prompts that allow for a wide range of possible responses. Open-ended prompts are useful when you're trying to generate creative or unexpected responses from ChatGPT. Closed-ended prompts. These prompts have a limited set of possible responses. Generally, closed-ended prompts are useful for gathering specific information or for very simply just asking some yes or no questions. You also have conditional prompts. These are prompts that are dependent on a specific condition or even a set of conditions. Conditional prompts are useful for generating responses that are tailored to a specific situation or a set of circumstances, where you can in detail explain what kind of circumstance you're working with and what kind of response you want. You also have conversational starters. These are nothing else but prompts that are designed to initiate a conversation or to encourage ChatGPT to continue a conversation. Conversational starters are useful for generating engaging and interesting responses from ChatGPT. Lastly, you also have opinion prompts. These are prompts that ask for the user's opinion on a particular topic. Opinion prompts are useful for generating responses that reflects the user's personal perspective or the worldview. In summary, prompts are an essential part of interacting with ChatGPT, and the quality and specificity of a prompt can have a significant impact on the quality of the AI generated response. By following these best practices and using these different kinds of prompts, you can improve your interaction with ChatGPT and generate more useful and relevant responses. Let's actually head on into ChatGPT to understand how these different types of prompts are and how we actually can maintain the best practices in ChatGPT.